actually thought we'd do something a little different tonight than our normal format. And I thought I would actually do an interview. We're actually really privileged to have Keith Hazel as a part of our church. And I'm also very privileged to have him as my father. And so one of the things that really helps is it means that you don't have to do as much research if you're going to interview somebody if you know them. And you can find your questions. But I thought what I was going to do...
If I can find my questions. Just talk among yourselves.
There it is. Okay. I'm going to start off by just giving him 10 seconds. I was going to say, we're really privileged to have him in our church. There are people all over the world who would really like to have him in their church and as a part of their church. And we're just blessed that we get to have him here with us. And, you know, it's not very often you have somebody with the kind of international stature of Keith Hazel in a church our size. Right, and I think that's really significant to us, and it's been helpful to us, and it's been good for us to have that to lean on. So I wanted to interview him, and for us to glean what we can. One of the reasons we're videotaping it is there's some people who said, I want to be there too, but I can't. And we might get it up on the internet in the next couple of weeks here so that some people can actually be here. But I'm actually going to start off by giving you several questions, which are just, we're going to try to do them really quick. Try to do it in 60 seconds, just to kind of get us warmed up. What is your favorite meal?
Dinner.
Okay. Your favorite Bible verse is?
As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
Good. The song that was top of the pops during your high school years was?
You are my special angel.
There we go. The best movie you've ever seen is?
Oh, heavens to bed.
Princess Bride. Okay. The place you've always wanted to visit?
Oh, yeah. Machu Picchu, up in the top of that over there. Or Easter Island.
Excellent.
Yes.
White or brown bread?
Brown.
Say it into the microphone so everyone can hear.
Of course, I'm a Christian.
Okay, the book on your bedside table right now.
Sayings of Winston Churchill.
Your favorite way to travel is?
To fly.
First class.
Transport.
The food you hate the most is?
Oh, sea cucumber.
Sea cucumber. Okay, who is your favorite Bible character?
Oh, Sunday school answer, Jesus. Probably Paul, because he's mean and cantankerous.
Okay, on a spring morning, I like to, or you like to?
Walk around the lake.
There we go. Excellent. That was great, just to kind of give you a quick sum up. I've got several questions here. Some of them are historical, some of them are not. But I think I'd like to start at the beginning and just ask you what your earliest memory is.
My earliest memory is being pushed, not over a cliff, being pushed in a pushchair along beside a fence that was done with slats aboard this way, and the sun was shining through them, and it went flicker, flicker, flicker as I went by. I can remember that.
Excellent.
That's my first memory.
What was your family like?
I had a great family, the best family in the world.
Good. Can you describe them a little bit for us?
Well, I can describe them. My dad was a man.
Very good.
And my dad was a man with an extremely good sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
He is a man who is very wise. Before he became a Christian, people would come to him for wisdom and come to him for counsel, even though he wasn't a counselor or anybody like that. But he was a good friend to everybody that he knew. He was very generous, and he was very gracious and very kind.
Good. What about your mum?
My mum liked to laugh. My mum was a great cook. She enjoyed singing. She thought that church should be all singing and no preaching. That was her opinion, right? She loved to sing, and she's also very generous and a very loving lady and very hardworking.
Excellent. And you had a brother and a sister too?
I had a brother and I had a sister. My sister was my oldest sibling, and she was 12 years older than me, and my brother was 10 years older than me.
Right. So you had quite a spaced out family, which is good.
We were a spacey family, yeah.
Now, I know this, that you were born right at the beginning of World War II. What was it like growing up in the middle of World War II?
Actually, in many ways, it was rather wonderful, because there was a different spirit amongst people, because when there's a war on, people tend to hang in together. And so a lot of things, there are a lot of community things that were done. I was kind of brought up in a tribe. I lived in the country, but there were like 12 other kids, 14 other kids who lived around us. Our fathers regarded the war. Our mothers were mostly in the fields working. And so we were a kind of a tribe of our own. And so I had older brothers and sisters who weren't my brothers and sisters, and we were all together. Life was hard because there wasn't much food. Clothes were on ration, food was on ration. Every night the bombers came over. Later on the rockets came over, and our village was full of soldiers and people. So yeah, it was different and tough.
Definitely.
Yeah, but good.
So did you always believe in God?
No. In fact, I didn't believe in God for 16 years of my life. I remember one occasion standing by a lake and saying, there is no such person as God, and if there is, he is not interested in me. That was a very stupid thing to say, because from then onwards I was surrounded by Christians.
Yeah.
Everywhere I went, I met a Christian, right? So, but I was brought up in a very left-wing political family, where we were involved in those kind of things, rather than going to church. Church we didn't do. My dad did church when he was a kid, but we didn't do church.
Right. Now you mentioned one was by the lake there, but were there some other inciting incidents that actually led you to receiving Christ?
You know, I think one of the things I was thinking about today, I was thinking about being on a journey. You know, our search for God is a journey. It's not just an incident. We don't just wake up one morning and, God is God and I'm a Christian. Wow, right? There's always something that brings us to that, right? And I was thinking about, you know, sometimes when you're on a bus, the bus starts to move and you don't realize it's moving. It's just really moving slowly, and suddenly you, right? And so I think things in my life, I had in England in school, we had a class in school which is called RE, which is religious education. And my RE teacher was a Christian, and he knew that I was against Christianity. So he kind of made it his business to win me for Jesus, right? And so he did it in a very sort of slow way. He gave me all kinds of biographical books and invited me to retreats and things that I didn't want to go to, except that there were people there I wanted to go with, right? And so he gave me books about John Newton, who wrote Amazing Grace, all kinds of these things to try and sort of stir my conscience. And then I read a book that's nothing really to do with Christianity. You can see a movie of it's called Cry the Beloved Country, and it's all about apartheid in South Africa. And when I read it, I was so disgusted that people could treat people like that, that I felt, hey, man cannot be good. If we can treat each other like that, that's got to be bad. There has to be something bad.
Good. So how did you